All right. Before you even do, before we even get to what we got to get to, you're gonna adjust your levels. You're gonna elevate with your boy. Cause I need you to elevate, beloved. All right. So before I get into that, let's make sure that we good on that. I'm gonna give you a little time. I'm gonna put some cologne on. You know what I mean? Scent of the fucking decade. You understand me? You see that, John? After Dark by Bath and Body Works. Bath and Body Works. You owe me, little old me, a check. You all owe me a check. All of you watching right now, you owe me a check too. You know why? When you watch this content, my influence is reaching y'all, beloveds. You heard me. It don't matter. You heard what I said, beloved. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it. So you know what we're about to get into. But before I get to that, when my goddamn man is this 6 past commandments. 6 past dice here. Mr. Lane, if you need me, how y'all doing? I hope this video reaches you in good spirits. I hope your belly is full of good nutrients, that is. But I hope you got a little more room, pause, if you need to. Because I'm going to cook. And whenever y'all come here, one thing I can guarantee is that I always got a good plate of food for you. That's what we missing in so much of the art. Ain't no food in there. Ain't no loving in it. I don't need no production because I got so much loving. Bars. Oh, you heard that? No, what that sound is, beloved. It's the sound of the air fryer going off. And what I told y'all before, you need to humble your goddamn self because you are not bigger than the cheeseburgers that I gotta make. And you are not bigger than the wings I'm making in my air fryer. Give me a second. Humble yourself. 6 past commandments. Wake up. What you was doing? What you was doing? Huh? Huh? Yeah. I'm back. You know what's the thing you never hear anymore is wash it down. He washed it down with a pint of ale. Or he washed it down with, room temperature water. Like y'all out here washed it down no more. Or in the nick of time. You know what I mean? And you don't meet that many niggas named Rick. You know it's not. I don't know that many Ricks. Might find a Ricky here and there, but ain't that many Ricks. But anyway, shout out to Nature Boy, man. Let's go ahead. So before we getting into my Black Men with Low Self-Esteem series. So the thing about men having low self-esteem, black men in particular find a manhood specifically through money and sex, which is understandable. It's understandable why you would try to find your manhood that way. But what happens is, for the most part, it's actually mostly sex, because the money for a lot of times is to get to the sex. Now, through that, you find your enlightenment, because the things you had to do to get the money will kind of always make you. How you go about getting that bread will always make you. That's why it's important to be providing some kind of value with any kind of money you get, and knowing how to provide value, right? So what we getting into was Nature Boy. Nature Boy was the leader of the cult called Carbonation. It was a group of a bunch of wokey wokes, and we shall be getting into that whole story, but the end result was that he was basically sentenced to life in jail. And I started this. Now, I did a breakdown about this already, but I wanted to revisit it again on this channel. I didn't want to just repost it. I might repost it. I'm not sure if I say anything different, right? But when I first saw that he was being sentenced to life, I was like, damn, like, what did he do? And I always say I knew of him. I mostly knew him for that viral video of him talking about, letting his son see his penis or touch his penis, or making love to his mother while the child's in the room with the child's breastfeeding and stuff like that. Some weird stuff. But so I remember him from that, and then a few years later, or a year or two later, he became a little more popular over the pandemic. A lot of bloggers, a lot of content creators became really big over the pandemic, because that's when people officially started moving over to using YouTube as a full-time like entertainment thing, and people start watching YouTube more, right? So whenever I would see a video with him, it was always in some place that was tropical. It was always a lot of sun, a lot of beaches and shit. You know what I mean? And at the time, I didn't understand that, you know, he basically would have been putting together groups and they've been moving from country to country. So they actually were in exotic places, but they would never even stay there very long because they would get deported. But anywho, so I want to go on this journey of understanding Nature Boy and how he wound up at that stand getting sentenced to life. And his sentence was harsh, or made to be so harsh, because he had no remorse for the things that he had done to these people. And we'll get into that later on. But you saw my other video, I got to his childhood, and he never actually really had a childhood. And what I like to, the way I think of it is your incubation. Your incubation period, you are so vulnerable. Whatever you experience in your incubation period, you will carry it with you for the rest of your life. It will shape you for the rest of your life. That's why it's so important to give kids as much as you can give them knowledge-wise, because they need to hear it while they're young, so that when they form their own ideas about life, it's some foundation there. You understand? So, what I thought was fascinating was that, man, this is what you get. This is someone who had unlimited talent. He could play ball. He could rap. You know what I'm saying? Handsome cat. Obviously got good genes. He can put on muscle. All these different things. You know what I mean? And I don't. Throughout all these stories, I don't hear shit about a workout. Obviously he worked out, but anywho, but he had all these things going for him. And you think about the kind of person who can put a cult together, probably could do anything. But it's what I mean about wasted talent. And everyone needs leadership. Without good leadership, you're going to be wasted talent. You're not going to. You may never even find your purpose if you don't have no leadership. The only reason why where I'm at today is because someone showed me good leadership. You understand? So I want to touch on that. What we about to get into. Well, first I want to show you guys the beginning of Nature Boy and how a lot of us came to see him when he first started growing his hair out, and you only see him with his shirt off in the islands and shit. You know what I mean? And his whole image and how mystifying it was. Let's go ahead and go to that real quick. You understand? I'm going to stop sharing that and then start sharing. Yes, here we go. Fair.
Listen to me very clearly. The ending of the cycle and the coming of the Christ.
You know what he's wearing is something that people like wear like in the Middle East. He's not Muslim. Not Muslim at all.
I am the black man. I am God. I love myself. I love myself, man. You feel me? What I'm doing is beyond Martin Luther King. It's beyond Malcolm X. It's beyond. What I'm doing is beyond all of that.
New disturbing video of Eligio Bishop and cult members.
Eligio Bishop, also known as Nature Boy.
He calls himself Bishop, Nature Boy, Christ.
Guess what? We have a God. We have our Savior. Yes. And his name is Nature Boy. Yes.
DeKalb police arrested Bishop in mid-April after a woman told them she had left a sex cult.
I watched him whip a girl with a leather belt multiple times for 15 minutes straight.
He was extorting money from a young person.
Bishop lived off of other members' PPP loans and life savings.
This is why I decided to leave Melanation.
Brainwashed his ass.
I don't like how the women are being treated.
Tell him who Baba G is. God. Tell him.
Baba G is God.
Oh, somebody feels sorry for Tanisha.
He's kind of mad that...
Of course he's mad. He's always mad.
It's because we're black. I'm just letting you know that right now.
It ain't because of your color. It's because of your nasty attitude and your crazy eyes.
We in the valley of the shadow of death. And we will fear no evil. But listen, we will be humble.
Sure. Oh, that's your live right now?
That's my live. Yeah. Your soul.
thrown into the abyss.
This video is sponsored by Felix Gray. Felix Gray are the blue light glasses that start R-word and false imprisonment. For weeks, cops that she had suffered various forms of abuse from Nature Boy and that she tried to leave before, but he wouldn't let her. And she tried another time. She finally left. And when she did, Nature Boy was pissed.
My bad, y'all.
Line.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that there. We'll do another reaction to that video another time. I want to show that video because I want to show you how. So the very beginning, right? You hear what he's saying. You know, I'm God. I love myself. You see him with the you know, the whole cast of a 90s sitcom hugged up. The white folks is mad random. But anywho, you see the backdrop and you see how things started and how they ended. When you see him like look at the camera, he got all that shit on. At that point, this is someone who's never been loved. Or if you grow up feeling like you ain't never been loved before, you know what happens? You spend the rest of your life looking for love and treating love like it's scarce and being aggressive about how you get it. Whenever people suffer any kind of trauma from their mother and father, all right, they will always be overly aggressive and because they're fearful of not having control and having that love. This is someone who grew up not without the love of his mother and father or even a family member. So this man, in his mind, he will never be loved. And that's why he is Madara, he who hates the world. When men don't have purpose, men become evil. When people don't have purpose, you are evil. When you have no values, you are evil. But in particular, what can happen when a man desires love too much and he does not understand that this shit is from the inside out. You have to build yourself into the kind of person that you can fall in love with. And do the goddamn work. On this channel, we're going to keep bringing it back to the goddamn work. And whenever you skip out on the work, yo, you are doomed. Like this guy is doomed. So we're going to get into part 2 of the tragic story of Elijah Bishop. Shout out to Lisa Says What. Great video. Thank you so much for posting this. And so, he's going to talk about. I'm gonna let him rock out talking about his when his first like relationships with older women who was abusive and all stuff that he went through. And the main point is a lot of times black boys, they wind up having at least one of these kind of relationships where a woman who was older or in a higher position or just doing a lot better kind of makes you her woman or tries to make you her woman. They'll get aggressive with you, you know what I mean? Putting their hands on you, all types of shit. So and so he's gonna go from that to how he got into basically doing gay for pay. Because Nature Boy is kind of, for the most part, gay for pay. For the most part, he's like a homo, he's bisexual, but he's in denial of being bisexual. Or I guess towards the end he started saying it, but you know, by the end of this story, he done married a whole he had a whole sex tape out with a transsexual, and the dudes who were in the house are in the video. We're going to talk about that too, because we're going to get into Young Solar. And anywho, so let's go ahead and play some of this video. So I want to kind of get into what the effect it has on you to never really feel as though you're wanted, and what kind of person it turns you into. And no matter what, you know what I mean, he's, again, because of the low self-esteem, for one, someone like this can't even have a normal relationship to begin with. They can only do the aggressive part, the part where they're taking something or getting something. Everything has to be a back and forth. There is no just giving. Throughout all these stories, you're not really going to hear anyone talk about something that Nature Boy gave them.
but it's kind of short and inappropriate. And I didn't pay no mind because back then I was kind of innocent. Like I didn't really, back then I was really innocent and fucking naive. I ain't gonna lie. When I look back, like, I was stupid. But as I look back, I was like, oh. She goes in the back of the office. She like, yeah, I'm gonna show you these flyers. So we in the office and shit. And she kick off her shoes and she start rolling a blunt. I'm like, this in Atlanta. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, Miss Faith, what are you doing? Like, she start rolling a blunt and she was like, she was like, Lee, yeah, Lee, but you ain't gonna have to worry about none of that no more. When I was talking about, I just kept talking about my girl, like, I can't believe this shit, man. She had me at the clinic, like, oh my God. She was like, yeah, but you ain't gonna have to worry about that no more. Like, she came and like rubbed my arm, and I was like looking at her like, yo, what the fuck, yo? Like,
I'll tell y'all, your arm rub, baby. The arm rub, they could come over and start petting you like a damn dog.
This shit was crazy. Back then I was real like kind of catch on. So I was like, yeah, I'm about to go. Like, so I was about to walk out the room and she was like, so you gonna fuck me or what? I'm like, yo, shorty pulled the condom out of fucking drawer and everything, and she got a fat ass. She was red bone with a fat ass. All the niggas wanted like Miss Faith, yo. She had her own shop. She like, I don't know why. She wanted me, but she just wanted me. She is particular. She was a Scorpio. She just had that flower dress on. I was fucking her on her desk, like that was crazy. And then after that moment, I guess she wanted to see what the dick was like. And then after she got the dick, she just took me. She was like, come with me real quick. And like I dropped the car off back to shorty, and then I got in her car and she drove me to her crib, and I could not believe in my mind, I could not conceptualize that this woman had a 2-bedroom apartment by herself. Like in my mind, I never seen no shit like that. I'm sorry, I'm from the hood. This woman had a 2-bedroom apartment, and I was like, one of the rooms she just used for her closet, and I was like, she was getting money. In my mind, I didn't think. In my mind, I'm like, nah, because she had more than one toothbrush in the fucking bathroom. So I'm like, not knowing she just used a couple toothbrushes. So later on, I wound up moving in. I'm like, I can't believe this woman is really, you know what I'm saying, is really motherfucking doing this shit. Like, she really got her own crib. And she's like, you could live with me. And I'm like, what? Like, so yeah, it was on. Like, she took me everywhere around Atlanta. She showed me the whole Atlanta, like, shorty was like a dude. She was like a dude. She was real sexy though, like a stripper body, bad as shit. She did hair. She wasn't no stripper though, but everybody wanted to fuck her in the neighborhood. Like where she lived at, all the niggas used to try to like get cool with me so they could figure out how the fuck I'm fucking her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always like, yo, you that nigga that's with Miss Faith, huh? I'm like, yeah, they used to play games. They used to play like we used to go over there and play Madden and shit with the dudes around the neighborhood. But they was trying to figure out how the fuck who the fuck I was and why would she be fucking with me. But that didn't end well. But I like when it came to her, like she would be at the shop and I'd be cutting hair, and me and my niggas be sitting around at the little barber area, and niggas with nice ass cars would pull up to the shop, and she would go outside in front of all my mans. And I'd be like hurting inside. After we're like, yo, man, the fuck going on? Who these niggas riding up like that? She was like, those is my friends. I was like, damn. Phone was always ringing. You know what I'm saying? Where is the admins? I don't even know. You an admin? Say something in the room so I can make you an admin. Oh, that.
So what he's talking about is, all right, whenever you dealing with a woman, especially if she's older than you or she big, a lot of times what she's going to try to do is she's going to approach you more like a dude and be more aggressive about getting you. And another thing that's bad about that is that you don't want your first experiences to be with an older woman or a big girl or just a masculine woman. I say these things because a lot of times it tend to be more masculine, because she's gonna give you a false idea of what women are like. So you're gonna think that, oh well, you know, she's not letting me sleep with her on the first date, so something's wrong, or she's not letting me do everything I want to do the first time we do it, or like you don't understand like how women actually think, because this woman's being masculine, or you know, she's overly aggressive, overly sexual. It's gonna make you think that it's not supposed to be. And every woman is not like that, and it doesn't mean anything's wrong with her. Like, she has to get to know you, and you have to get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not good first experiences, you know. So he's experiencing that. Another thing that's always going to happen with a woman that's masculine, and she's going to always be establishing dominance and establishing I can do what I want. Essentially, he was like living. He was a living human dildo for the most part. Like, she like was just that was her bitch. You know what I mean? Like, whenever you in a woman's house, she will always find a way to make you the bitch and let you know, yo, you can't do nothing with me. All right. In a minute, he's gonna get into when she starts to get handsy, and then we're gonna fast forward to a little bit of the game for pay stuff.
The admins was here. I was the bitch in the relationship. I'm leaving. So I would pack my bags and I would just walk out, say I'm leaving. And she would say, yo, come back. And I would come back to her. And she would have like rose petals and shit. She would treat me like a chick. That was crazy. As I look back, I was a little bitch nigga. Like, I was the bitch in the relationship. And so she, they listen to this shit like, really, Chief? Nah, before I was like the nigga that, then after a while, she became to get violent. She became violent. Like, yo, start throwing my clothes out when I was about to leave, like putting hands on me, choking me so I won't leave. Like, she choked me out one time, yo. Like, really, I was being abused. Like, yo, like, you don't believe it, but men can be abused in relationships, bro. Like, I was really one of them niggas, bro, that was getting hands put on me, like she was treating me like a child, bro. Like, basically, she'll throw my clothes that was in bags. Like, get your broke ass out of here, nigga. Throw my shit out. Like, damn, yo. Then one day I just snapped and I hit her back. And I didn't hit her, I just choked her up. She got scared. And I was packing my bags to leave. And she didn't want me to leave, so she made this scene. She was like, oh my God, he's trying to kill me. So the maintenance man was knocking on the door. She started screaming like, oh my God, help me. And she ran outside with her t-shirt on. The whole neighborhood was out there. And the motherfucker, and I'm like packing my bags up, trying to get my clothes in time. Like, yo, this bitch crazy. Packing my bags up, putting my shit on. And I'm walking out the door, and the maintenance man pulled a Desert Eagle to my chest. Like, he was like, man, hold on, stay right there. I was like, this white dude, I'm on the balcony. You gotta get down the balcony. You gotta get down these steps. And he pointing the fucking Desert Eagle at my chest.
That's crazy.
Everybody downstairs looking up like, damn. He tried to hold me while the police on the way. I was
like, and another thing about a woman that's masculine, her interest is always trying to find a way to be the man, always trying to find a way to be in control. Right? So, like, people kind of think that control is always getting someone to do what you want them to do. But someone can control you by controlling your outcome. Right? So, in this instance, literally, she was not accepting that she wasn't going to win. So she was wanting to put him in harm's way. It's just crazy. But he about to get into how he gets into the game for pay. We're the 24-minute mark. He gonna talk about having nowhere to go when everything how it starts.
Yo, my nigga, I'm this nigga, man. He be singing R&B and shit to women. So Kenny come pick me up from Alpharetta. He came from Alpharetta with his white girl. He stayed with white girls, black dude. Running, it's cold as shit outside. I seen the police see me right there. Girls, black dude. It was calling me like, yo, you got clients with the barbershop. I was Delta in the West End. And I was really fucked up in the game, bro. And it's about to be nighttime. I'm like, yo, Bobby, what's that dude's number, bro? Like, I need some money. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, you know how you get desperate I was trying to find the last resource. So I call Bobby. He picks up on the first ring. It's about to be nighttime. I'm like, yo, Bobby, what's that dude's number, bro? Like, I need some money. You know what I'm saying? I need some money. And he was like, oh, Lee, you fine decided. It's like kind of getting on Bigo. Niggas like, oh, you getting on Bigo? Okay. That's like that. He was like, oh, you gonna be a stripper? Okay. Yeah, you gonna make a lot of money. I'm like, he was like, here's the dude, mama. I call the dude. I just explained to him like, yo, bro, I ain't got nowhere to go. Either it's cold outside. I'm about to be homeless. He like, send me pictures of yourself. So I sent them pictures of me. He like, I'm on the way to come get you right now. He came and got me. I went from the West End to Atlantic Station. Now these dudes are gay. He got a stripper on the side of his Mustang. He pulls up. I got my bags. He's like, give me your bags. They wasn't even talking. They like, get your bags. I was like, all right. So I like, yo, I ain't give a fuck. I was like, nigga, I want to make some money, bro. I need some money. I'm trying to get my own crib. I need to make some money. I don't give a fuck. He was like, and then I went into his crib. I never seen nothing like that. I never been in no crib like that. I never been to a luxury apartment, nothing like that. It was in Atlantic Station. I never seen nothing like that. So when people tell you my story, I tell you my story. I'm very open. Like I'm very transparent with people. Like I don't lie to nobody. My story is my life belongs to you. So never listen to what somebody else said about me, because I can always tell you the truth about everything that's going on with my story. I'm very transparent because I healed over a lot. I believe that my story belongs to y'all to
everything that this man is doing and saying. This is all about ego. This is all about him trying to fill in that gap. Like this whole year, and I'm kind of glad I went through what I went through, with things changing in my life, because I didn't realize how much of myself was hinged to certain things and certain people. And if not for all the work I did beforehand, all the things I've been involved in, all the experiences I had, all the revelations I had, those changes would have probably killed me, to be honest with you. All right. But something I heard the Saint and Sinner say, and he was speaking to some advice he got from a pimp, and he was saying that money doesn't, in so many words, money doesn't make you. He was saying basically in so many words, money can't make you confident. You feel more confident with the money. Women are attracted to confidence, period, because confidence is strength. All right. And we can never forget that. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a man's nature to be analytical and to take in information and come up with a good, reasonable explanation or plan of action, right? It's a natural thing. So when men see what women are saying online, it's very confusing, because like, yo, we never grew up hearing that the Cheesecake Factory is a place that you can't, that it's offensive to take someone. You know what I mean? Or someone who makes six figures is not, or a man who makes a lot of money is not good enough to date an average woman. These are just things that we never heard growing up. But men hear that stuff and get confused and think, is this what I have to do now? And not really realizing you met a guy before that had a pretty girlfriend and he ain't have shit. Happens a lot. Happens quite often. No one's saying you still shouldn't try to do well in life, right? But you gotta understand, at the end of the day, she's gonna be attracted to your confidence. She's gonna be attracted to who you are and what you know what I mean, and what you're about. And you get that can't never change. And I had to realize, you know what, I lost it about me. Like when I ain't had shit, I was so much more. I was so confident. Now again, now I'm back to being fully activated, baby. I know how to feel that shit, nigga. You know what I mean? I know how to get my motherfucking mode, nigga. Yeah. I'm always me. Wherever I'm at, I'm me. You understand? Yeah. It's Waterloo pina colada. If you like pina colada, the sun in the rain. No, in the bugaloo. And my shit, it say bugaloo. Something. Shit's fire. I don't care nobody say. A pina colada joint. But anywho. So what I'll get into? Oh, my bad. What I'll get into? We got a little sidetrack. I got such an intense passion for seltzer. But anywho, I want to also touch on when he keeps reiterating when he experiences being around people who have a place to stay. Or people who have, and again, and this also speaks to like, don't get me wrong, most guys who are real young, that's how you feel. It's interesting how like when it's not your time yet, you know how different everything is. Like I always have to remember that, like when I'm driving around, like to that guy that's walking, like I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people I work with, like, yo, you know what? Yeah, you forget like what it's like not being a part of this world. You know what I mean? And like how hard other people have it. You think you have it hard. Listen, honestly, everyone has it hard. You know what I mean? But anywho, but yeah, I want to get to when he keeps saying that, and this is also how not having, you gotta realize Nature Boy wasn't given anything but his last name. Nothing was passed down to him. No information, was no love from the family, no nothing. Like he, you know, because he also, you know, in that last video I talked about him going to jail. And I think that was probably the beginning of the manipulation, because if you're in jail, that's all there is manipulation. That's all there is people who do not play by the rules, and to the point where they have to be removed from society for a certain amount of time so that society can be peaceful, or so that basically we can have a society. Like if people was able to just exist in the world and just, you know, like do what they want to do, oh my gosh, you understand? But we're kind of getting to making it clearer and clearer how this guy wound up going to jail for life, right? So I want to just let him tell a little bit about his experience and what's going to go on in this story is that he's going to talk about the positive aspects of being in basically gay sex work, in so many words. Now he says that he wasn't having sex, but he was like, he would do touching and stuff like that, and he mostly was a dancer. He's going to talk about how the men received him. He's going to reflect on it as if it's a fond memory. And I'm going to tell you why it's a fond memory. Excuse me. And I don't want to say he's in his feminine energy, but women do this. They do this thing where one of the reasons why a woman can be confrontational with you and still love you to death, or get angry with you, or get aggressive with you, and she really, really loves you, and it's all at the same time, is because those interactions, there's still attention. Attention is whatever she's getting you to interact with her. Whether it's a look, whether it's a compliment, no matter what it is, when she wants your attention, all interactions are the same, and just more about an intensity and stimulation for her. So that's why a fight is not, you know, as it's not, she's not going to feel like, oh, you know, I don't want to do that. You know, it's going to make, you know, we're going to have a bad night. In her mind, yo, depending on the day, like, yo, you better watch it. You better watch it. You know what I mean? It ain't nothing like that. What was it? PMS? Yeah, PMS. That when the PMS time come around, men know you better watch it around the house. Shit, I don't say nothing to her. I remember I asked you, she on her period. I ain't saying nothing. Matter of fact, I'll leave it to her devices. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, we'll leave your devices. You're going to go ahead and sit on your tablet like a 6-year-old. You know what I mean? Leave you alone. Go ahead and get lost in your own mind. Anyway, hey, listen, you gotta let them have fun too. But let's let Eligio break it down
for y'all to utilize and do whatever you want with it. So I'm going to be very vulnerable in this moment and tell you things that you're going to be like, what the fuck? Did he just say that? He said he did that? Like, yeah, like I'm going to tell you everything about me, like everything. Not what you think you hear or clips of what
he's doing right now is that he's convincing you that he can never be lying. He's establishing credibility in mind. And that's what a con artist always does. Everything is a con. You know what I'm saying? Every sell is a bit of a con. You got to sell a bit of a dream. You can't just go around telling the exact truth. You know, that's you know, that can sometimes the truth can be too much, and sometimes the truth is not interesting enough. All right, let's bring that back.
I tell you,
I didn't tell you to talk yet, bro. Sometimes the truth can be too much, and sometimes it's not interesting enough. So, what he's doing is, you know, convincing you of something before he makes his argument and tells his story. Because he's going to tell a story in a way where it don't even sound like he's doing some gay shit. It's quite interesting. You know what I mean? So, but he's also I feel like he's tapped into the energy of how like women tell stories. Now these aren't really necessarily stories where he make himself sound good, but it's interesting how the story feels, and you don't really feel like I think what's interesting and what can be dangerous is when someone can communicate something that might be a little shameful with no shame. Excuse me. Because shame only matters if we both agree on it. Right? Now, again, and that's a choice that we both make. It's to acknowledge the shame of something, meaning the wrong in something, or why this shouldn't be. It's a choice that we both going to have to make and have to decide, yo, how are we going to handle this? How you want to do this? Right? Something that we both got to decide. But one of us decides, no, I'm not ashamed of that. Now it becomes a little bit more of a confrontation. Because when someone does not admit the shame, it's like you have two choices. Make them stand on it, right? Or stop dealing with them. Or it's going to force you to take action. And a lot of times human beings will just do nothing. And that's more of an extreme example of it, right? But I had to say this. When someone tells a story, a part of confidence, we'll get into confidence too. And confidence is honestly like everything else, it's a muscle. And you got to train confidence, and the more confident you are, the more you have more stamina. Basically, let's say, for example, someone don't agree with you. Someone that you're making a point, someone doesn't agree with you. If you don't have confidence, then you might start folding on your point and losing your way, and you might be on the verge of coming up with a revelation or doing some serious work. But because you have no confidence in everything, you start to turn the other way because the person was giving you a weird look. Where your confidence at? I'm the confidence man. So, what else I want to say about this? I'm gonna leave that there. So we're gonna go ahead and get into because I want to let him cook because I know I'll start cooking. And I know how I do when I know I already will on a little rant, but I'm gonna let him cook.
About me, and I'm honest about my story because I feel like a life happened to me, and it wasn't. I don't own my experiences. It made me what I am. It's the ingredients that made this being that you see right now.
Oh, and the way he talks, that metaphysical shit. Woke black people, they love anything that sound like it's from outer space, or sound like some new shit, or sound like it's something. And I get it. We got a lot of trauma dealing with white folks, and we just love anything that just don't sound like how white folks think. Quite interesting.
So I own every bit of the way. You know what I'm saying? So I became a gay male stripper. Just a stripper. He told me, first you start dancing for the guys. I was part of his company. First you're going to dance with the guys, and then you're going to dance for the girls. Now, mind you, I'm not gay, but I'm about to go dance for men. So it don't matter. Like, it don't matter. It's money. And it was something. And this nigga living like this. I was like, bro, I asked him a question. I'm like, bro, can I live like this? Can I make enough money to live like this if I do this? He's like, hell yeah. I was like,
men who can do gay for pay have to be studied. Because I didn't think that was like really a thing. I mean, I think I can see if y'all not really doing nothing that's like super sexual, I guess. I don't know. But I just always imagine that for you to be able to do it and stomach that, you gotta like it a little bit. You know what I mean? Or you gotta be at least be all right with you. But I guess on some level, and again, so I mean we mean about the whole childhood thing. He was made to do homosexual acts with other little boys when he was young by his foster father, right? And now here he is at this age. He's been told, like, how many dudes could say that, yo, yeah, man, shit, man. Had to make it, man. So I became a gay male stripper. It's just not a likely career path. You understand? But you know what? We're already at the 40-minute mark. We want to start making these videos a little bit shorter and breaking these drawings up. I want to kind of make sure we get all the way through the Nature Boy drawing. That's important. I think this kind of content in general is important because, at the end of the day, I want to make sure I'm giving y'all a meal, man. Make sure I'm feeding y'all. Whoever's watching the video, whoever this broadcast gets to, listen, shout out to my man Joe with the sickness. This video is for you. This message is for you. The nation cannot be strong without strong men, period. So it makes more sense to invest in the young boys and make the young boy. He can't be confident. The young man can't be confident if he's told he ain't shit, or if he's told to shut up. He's told to keep his head down. He's told to not develop his idea right from wrong. All right, he needs a more complete idea of what makes him worthy. It's a whole experience. I'm a whole experience. What kind of experience are you? Before I leave, let me ask you that real quick. For real, seriously. No bullshit. Shout to Young Bow. What kind of experience are you? Are you a bad experience? And if you are, why do you want to be a bad experience? I don't understand. Tell me. Why is that okay with you? When you go out to the world, try your best to be a good experience for somebody. Because you want someone to take the opportunity or make the effort to extend the same amount of humanity to you. Don't be a crappy person. Human beings are only meant to deal with a certain amount of trauma. When you are a bad experience, you add to that person's trauma because that's a bad experience where it will never be resolved because you are a stranger. Or maybe you're in a position of power and they can't argue with you at that moment. Don't be somebody's bad experience. It's bad karma. How can we have a good life if we do things that we know are wrong? Anyway, 6 Paths Dice here. Mr. Lane, if you need me, man, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. I hope y'all have a good week.